Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to the show. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
So this is a little different. This doesn't really slot into one of our regular upload themes. So for now, we're just going to call it Sam and Max Watch a Movie.
Yeah.
And watch a movie we did. We watched the 1975 action film Doc Savage, The Man of Bronze. Starring Ron Ely as pulp hero Doc Savage. Until I read that just now, I did not know this movie was made in 1975.
Seemed around that time.
Yeah, I see that.
It takes place in, what, 30s?
38.
38.
Yeah, so between World Wars.
Right.
This movie was loaned to me, recommended by a friend of mine, and I'm surprised how enjoyable it was.
It was.
Really
It was a
good
lot
time.
of fun. And, it was a cool movie. Characters were good.
It's interesting how, I kind of knew vaguely, like I've been told and read about how Superman lifted a lot of things from Doc Savage.
Yeah.
Doc Savage's name is Dr. Clark Savage.
Yeah, he has a Fortress of Solitude.
In the icy frozen north. Or is it Antarctica?
I think it was the Antarctic.
Yeah, either way, a frozen Fortress of Solitude. That he lives in.
Yeah. He's bulletproof.
And he is although they kind of tease it out. At first, it seems like he's trying to avoid getting shot. And then later in the film, it's almost like a reveal. Like, haha, he can withstand all of these Tommy gun bullets.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
This really appealed to me. Also, not just the Superman comic booky stuff there, but also how much it was like the pulpy, like, things that we see parodied, like on the Venture Brothers. Like, it was so Venture Brothers.
Yeah,
like,
it's like original Team Venture.
Right, if like Johnny Quest was lightly riffing off of this, and then Venture Bros is then taking it an additional step further, but you can see the whole, super science.
Oh, yeah.
Super scientists with an action team of, varyingly dressed and skilled individuals.
Right. Well, the one with the cane sword, it's totally Colonel Gentleman all the way.
Colonel Gentleman, exactly. The whole action team was a lot of fun. The chemist who
with
carried
the
around the pig named Habeas Corpus.
Yeah.
The pilot guy. And
and the electronics guy.
The electronics guy, yeah. He was Scarf Guy, right? He was separate from the nerd.
Yeah, he was Scarf Guy.
Right, because he had gadgets.
Yeah, he had gadgets and screwdrivers all over the place.
Right,
and,
his screwdriver belt.
He was played by Paul. Wasn't he?
Yeah. That one of the names are down. Paul Gleason.
Yeah, Paul Gleason.
A person we recognized. He wasn't the only one we recognized. Because famous character actor Michael Berryman, I guess this was his first role. It's the first thing listed on his Wikipedia page, anyway. Same year as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun to see that famous face pop up.
Right. Yeah.
So let's go through some. I took some notes here.
Yeah.
To take us through the plot a little bit. I liked right at the beginning when Doc Savage showed up and all of his buddies were there. And they were like, Doc, how'd you know to be here? And he was like, I picked up your thought waves, and I realized that there was an issue, and I needed to show up.
Right.
That never comes up again.
Never comes up again.
But that's a cool power that he has.
Right. Of several powers. Like, the music that plays when he has an idea.
Okay, so there's this sound sting. This is incredible. This was, gotta be one of the high points of the movie. When Doc is thinking hard, having a realization, there's the soundtrack element that's like, ding, right? It's happening. And then one of the guys says, Doc, we all know what that sound means. You figured something out.
Right.
As if they can hear the sounds coming out of the soundtrack. Was that sound actually happening in the movie itself?
It really seems like it must have been.
That's insane! That is crazy. That Doc actually makes a noise when he thinks hard enough.
Oh, yeah.
Or when he dings like a toaster oven once the idea is finished.
He's got a super brain.
The brain pumps so hard it's audible.
Yeah.
Right? And then it starts out on a real dour note because Doc Savage's dad's dead. It's revealed to him at the very beginning.
Right. Damn.
And there's an Indian dude with a sniper rifle.
Right, so that's a whole thing into motion.
A Native American Indian, not Indian from India.
Right.
Although that's not even really a Native American Indian. It's a very, like... It's like a
Bandit.
lost tribe from this land, Hidalgo, which, is across an ocean somewhere or something.
Right, and they all have these snake tattoos.
Yeah, these very hilariously drawn-on snake tattoos.
Right, glitter.
So Doc Savage has a little bit of a theme where he destroys the shirt he's wearing all the time. It happens first when the dude tries to assassinate them, and Doc has to pull the bullet out of the wall.
Right, flexes too hard.
Yeah. And, oh my gosh, total non sequitur, but remember when he built a little model rocket and used it to create a fishing device?
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Just awesome.
The rocket fires, I guess, when a fish hits it.
When the fish bites on the lure, it must pull something, which causes a spark, makes the rocket fire, pulls up the fish, and rings the bell.
Rings the bell, so he knows that he's got a fish. Right, so he knows to get up from his semi-naked meditation in the Antarctic cold.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Very cool.
It's great when the dude throws his sniper rifle at Doc because he's out of bullets and it clangs right off of him. Does not react whatsoever.
Right, and then the bell tower rings, which causes the guy to fall off the building. So really, all Doc had to do was chase him down.
Did the dude fall? I swore he jumped. He fell by accident.
It seemed like the loud sound threw off his balance.
All right, so. Everybody gets to the bottom, and they got to take the car to drive somewhere, right? So what does Doc do to ride in the car? He hops onto the side, like the foothold.
Right. Well, they leave the guy behind, and
right to watch the body.
And I'm guessing that his seat was the final one in the car, so Doc had to ride on the side. He's not going to take his buddy's seat.
Right, that's his usual spot. So
right.
Why throw off the balance of the car by not standing and pointing in the direction that he wants the dude to drive?
Oh, yeah. The pointing it's amazing.
The pointing makes it.
Yeah.
And then, like, the marching, it's because all the music in the movie is, like, John Philip Sousa marches, some of which have had Doc Savage-themed lyrics applied to them that are just telling you the story and telling you that Doc Savage is the shit.
Right. He's the man with the super brain.
He's the man with the super brain. He's the foe to all crime.
Right.
Yeah.
Gonna get rid of all crime.
Thank God, Doc Savage is here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, so they do this weird fake out where they make it seem like the action team isn't going to accompany Doc to Hidalgo to hunt down this origin of his father's death.
Yeah.
Which is very quickly wiped away by everybody just showing up and being like, nah, just kidding, we were all going to come too.
Right.
But it leads to the scene where Doc gives this speech. And it's like the perfect speech. It's the Superman speech, but it's also like the American dream speech. Because it starts, I wrote it down. It says, let us strive to do our best so that all may benefit.
Oh.
Like, ooh, boom.
Yeah.
And then it's like a lot of, good for fellow man and, defeat evils and yada yada. But it's good. It's good stuff. This guy, Ron Ely, the dude they got to play Doc Savage, like, A, looks perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Like, B, like, he knows how to deliver those speeches. Like, I don't know if the dude's acting super good, but he's real good at posing and barking out things.
Yeah.
And it is very funny how every time he, like, walks into a room or is near any women, they're like, ah!
Oh, yeah.
But completely.
Right, and if he talks to them, a little twinkle will burst in his eye.
The twinkle, an actual twinkle. Straight up.
Oh, yeah, starburst all the way.
That dude is charming AF. Alright, let's see. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the weirdest part of the movie. There's this guy. There's this little mousy guy who is doing simultaneously the best and the worst acting in the movie. He does like 12 facial expressions for every 5 seconds he's on screen delivering lines. This little mousy guy who's like the main henchman of the villain. Oh, dude sleeps in a giant crib. It's like a king-sized crib.
King-sized crib that rocks.
It's a rocking crib.
Oh, man.
He's in it a lot.
He's in it a lot.
He's sucking his thumb sometimes.
Yeah, and in a dressing gown to top it all off.
It's never explained. It's never commented upon.
He's just a really weird guy.
It is really weird. So yeah, what else have I written down here? Oh, I wrote down energy snakes. There's some energy snakes that are like the main threat of the movie because Doc and his gang aren't really like vulnerable to regular human means of combat.
No,
like they get into a big brawl and like they whip a room full of many more guys than them.
Quite handily.
Quite handily. But man, these energy snakes that lash you and create red and green lesions that sap your will to live or your energy.
Yeah.
The Green Death.
It was hilarious how, like, well, how old-fashioned the snakes looked. Not great, but hilarious effect nonetheless. But every time they'd lash, and there would immediately be a lash on the person on the screen, I thought they pulled that off really well.
They went for it, and they succeeded. There was a couple of times when you think, oh, they're going to not show us some stuff as this guy goes around the corner and the snakes are following him, and they're going to have, all the bad stuff happen. No, it cuts right in to a close-up of the snakes lashing the shit out of him.
Right, exactly. No fear.
No fear. And, yeah, when it shows him chopping through the air to cut through the snakes and they're reforming, it's hitting the right spots.
Yeah, that's true. When he shoots, when Doc shoots them with the double barrel, and they just vaporize and then come back together.
It's very cool effects. I was really into it.
Yeah, not bad at all.
So about this point in the movie, we're introduced to the villain, whose name is Captain Seize, who named himself that because his real name is unpronounceable. Or quite unpronounceable.
Quite.
And he's been all over everywhere, so he named himself Captain Seas because he sails.
Yeah, sailed the 7 seas.
He sails, but you know what he should have called himself? Captain Karate, because this motherfucker, we'll get to it a little bit later, this motherfucker knows a lot of martial arts.
Yes, he does.
Let's see. So he invites him to dinner. And it's like this, it's a death trap. He's going to have them all killed. But luckily, Gadget's guy, I can't remember any of anybody's names.
No. Just Doc.
But Gadget's dude has a lighter that's actually a laser device.
Yeah. So he grabbed the cigarette when offered. And all the rest of them, they've been refusing alcohol. They refuse cigarettes, cigars, everything. They drink Coca-Cola, lemonade, that kind of thing.
These guys are straight edge. They're not going to dabble with these liquid spirits and tobacco smoking.
They do not put toxins into their body.
I'm very surprised that one military officer from Hidalgo didn't turn out to be evil or something. He was evilly smoking a cigar, but that was just some business, I guess, to entertain us.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, of course, they escape the boat quite handily because they all have their water-breathing apparatuses for easy underwater flight.
Right under their suits. Very nice.
And then this is the point in the movie where we're introduced to Mona. Who it's very lucky that Doc Savage talks to her because not only does she know pretty much all the answers to all the questions he wanted to ask, but she's super down to help. Man, when she delivers that line, it's can I help you? Oh man, she really wants to help him.
Yeah.
She is smitten immediately.
And she knew his father.
Right. And she takes him to the village. That's where they're going to be able to get a guide who's going to take him to the edge of the world, where this mysterious tribe is, where his father supposedly bought land, but there's no longer a deed.
He was given land.
He was given land, right, but there's no proof.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how the plot of the movie kind of just happens. Here's this discovery. Now everything is happening based on that discovery we just had. We didn't learn what the villain's plot or motivation was until probably the last 20 minutes.
Right. Well, we knew it was something to do with this land that his father was given for his philanthropy work. But we had no idea what was so important about the land because it was sold to us as a quite barren, worthless swampland.
Right. But real quick, I do want to mention the bit where they're going to leave the village to go to the end of the world, and the girl, Mona, wants to come with them, and Doc gives her the speech. Or, she says she loves it.
Right. I love you.
And he's like, I have no time for love. Something happened to me in the past, and now I can't have any loved ones to target me. And then at the end of it, though, he goes, "You're a brick, Mona," and he does a little fist against her chin.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was wonderful. So they go to they find the lost village at the bottom of the canyon at the end of the world, and all of this is because the villain has discovered that the land here has pools of molten gold that just rise up to the surface, pure gold.
Oh man,
riches, unlimited riches.
Yeah,
and also the local the natives are able to conjure the green energy snake, so that's also useful for evil plans.
Yeah, the Green Death they call it, and they haven't used it for thousands of years, except somebody has been.
Right. Let's see. So the action team gets captured. and they're all tied up and put in a cave, and some of the green snakes are put in there to kill them. Doc Savage isn't with them when it happens. Luckily, Habeas Corpus the pig, after having been mostly just comic relief throughout the film, makes himself useful and chews through the bonds.
Yep, he's been taught to chew through bonds.
Because these guys think of everything. They bring all their science equipment with them. Doc finds that green snake in the jungle and is like, ooh, green snake.
Right.
This can't be a coincidence. I better synthesize an anti-venom.
Exactly. Well, it looks just like the snakes on the tattoos. So, he knew exactly what to do.
You can put two and two together.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow, they're all very smart.
So, Doc gets there, he gives him the antidote, and thus ensues the one-on-one battle between Doc Savage and Captain Seize. And let me tell you, I'm glad I wrote all these down, because first it seemed random. It was like we were just going to get one. Like, Seize does a sumo stomp start, and then Doc does it back to him, and then a title flashes on the screen that says sumo.
Sumo!
And they rush at each other. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. A weird thing to do. But no. Then fucking Captain Seize takes another pose, and it says Gung Fu.
Right.
And then they fight in Gung Fu, and they go through it. It's Tai Chi Chuan next, then Karate.
Nope.
Bo-Jitsu, they pick up a couple of sticks and do some stick fighting. Fisticuffs.
Oh, yeah.
He puts up his dukes.
Classic.
Right? And it all ends with Doc Savage getting sick of his shit and doing a running 2-foot full-ass kick into his chest. That, like, really knowing what we know about Doc Savage, should have killed that dude instantly. I guess he pulled the kick because he knew that, he's not trying to kill this guy. He's killing.
He's not a killer.
But then annoying Crib Man has thrown some dynamite at the soldiers who were trying to run off with the gold, which upset Mother Earth. So the gold starts to bubble, and I yell, "You've angered Mother Earth!" And then, 30 seconds later, Doc Savage says, yes, the dynamite must have disrupted the volcanic underflow. Mother Earth wants her revenge.
Right? Oh, man. The pool started exploding up. Little Mexican dude, he's running around with his pockets open, trying to catch all the gold. It's my gold, my gold.
He has the gold fever.
Yeah.
He is infected bad with the gold fever. And if you didn't think that standing out there in the rain of gold there wasn't going to result in him being flash frozen into a perfect golden statue of himself, you were wrong.
Yeah.
It did happen.
Oh, yeah, it paid off.
It paid off in spades.
Yeah, so he got golded. Captain Seize, a tree fell over him and kind of trapped him.
It actually protected him pretty effectively from the gold rain.
Yeah, but so he survived. And they got him. They captured him.
They don't believe in killing. He's like, "Are you going to kill me?" And they're like, "No, Doc doesn't believe in murder. We got a plan for you." And then shit gets wild.
They also don't believe in permanent incarceration.
Shit gets wild. Okay? Because Doc Savage operates the Doc Savage Sanatorium, where they do acupuncture-based brain lobotomies to remove the evil parts of a criminal's brain and teach you a skill and trade and send you back out into the world with your new outlook on life and your new ability to earn you money.
Ooh, complete and perfect rehabilitation.
It is shocking. Shocking, I tell you.
Yeah, it's wild, wild stuff.
And, and then it ends, as all good pulps do, with Doc Savage being called off to another adventure where millions of lives are at stake.
Right, at the drugstore.
And, at the drugstore, right. Which it seemed like he just left.
That's true.
With his stack of gifts as he walked by, Captain Seize working for the Salvation Army, collecting donations for Christmas.
And singing carols.
And singing Christmas carols. Fully rehabilitated.
Fully.
Wild.
Yeah. Pretty excellent.
I am surprised at how much we enjoyed this movie. We were laughing the whole time. There was, I was waiting for the part where it would be 10 to 15 minutes of boring.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you watch movies from that era that aren't well known, sort of low budget movies, and they hit this lull. And, you could only really watch them if you're watching on Mystery Science Theater, and, people are cracking jokes between. This didn't need that.
No.
This got by on its own merits.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
really did.
it was so entertaining. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, stayed good the whole way through.
Yeah. So I think that's all I've got. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Let us know if you enjoyed this, and if you did, we'll do more, I guess.
Yeah. Sam and Max will watch more movies. You take care, all.